Hi there, I want to talk to you today about marketing, but also it gives me a chance to show you my medal again and to wear my top again, because the weekend before last I entered the Loch Ness road race, the 10k road race, and I'd never done marathon running or any kind of running before since April. And the process it got me to here has been an interesting journey, and I can see so many parallels in business. So this is why I'm wearing the shirt today and talking about this. So is marketing, the sprint or the marathon? Clearly, it can be both, to be honest. There are systems and things you can do to do a bit of sprinting. However, it is bloody hard work. The marathon, even though the endurance is longer, it's much, much easier. And this is why. Let me show you this. So I've got myself some numbers here. Now these numbers, I've checked, you will be able to read them. These numbers show my timings of the 10k, how I did my 10k. And the problem is I can't read them when I'm looking at the camera here. I'm going to have to turn around to read them. So here we go. So I'm going to go just out here so I can see this. So I did the first run in 6:40, the first kilometre, and that's the start of the race. It can be a bit slow as everyone's jostling for position at the beginning, and it's also we're all finding our pace. So the first kilometre will always be relatively slow at the beginning. The next one was 5:13, so now the pace is starting to develop and everyone's getting used to how they're going to run. The next kilometre is 5:15. Now, by the time we hit 4:42, the pace is starting to rise and we're into our stride and we're starting to move, and I was overtaking people, and it starts to become that fun bit. I've got energy, I feel bouncy, let's go. Okay, 4:52 was the next kilometre, 6. By the time I got to 6, 4:58, slowed a little bit, not much significantly. By the time I got to 7 kilometres, I was having something going on in my tummy at that time. I was feeling a little bit ill. Not sick ill, but I was feeling a little bit kind of pressure in my stomach and I couldn't work out what it was. So I slowed a bit to allow myself to kind of, to build a bit of strength. And so 5:16 for the next 2 kilometres. By the time I got to kilometre 9, I was starting to recognise the race was coming to an end, and I did 5:26. And then by the time I got into the final kilometre, the 10th, you can hear that the race is about to end. I put the medal down so without dropping it because it's loud. You can hear the race is coming to an end. You can hear the noise, so it kind of spurs you on a bit. And I got to 5:11 at that point. So that's how long I'm running 1 kilometre in, 5 minutes 11 seconds. So the total race time, according to my stats here, was 50 minutes and 0.89 of a minute. So nearly 51 minutes. My actual finish race time was 51 minutes 40 seconds. But that's by the point. Now, how could I have improved that race time? How could I have got better? Well, the classic thing everyone does is they sprint the last kilometre, the last 500 metres, they sprint it. And I obviously, everyone puts a little bit of spurt on at the end. But the reality is, even if I improve that time, that 5:11, by 10 seconds or by 10%, I'm not actually going to make that much of a difference to my overall race time, because 10% of 5 minutes is about 30 seconds or so. Maybe I could sustain 30 seconds of faster, that 5 minutes of faster running to the end there and get that time back to 4 minutes something. But the chances are I'm only going to improve my race time by 30 seconds. So at 51 minutes, 30 seconds, I'm going to get closer to 50. But here's the thing. If I applied that strategy of improving by even 5% or 4% right across the board, across all of these times, my final time would be significantly faster. And I haven't added this up because there are loads of ways I could add this up, and I'm not sure it actually does any value. But it does prove a point that slow, consistent action is far better, far more effective than fast, concentrated action. And I think that's the parallel we need to look in our business. Now, what does that mean in marketing terms? What does that look like? It looks like building engagement. It looks like reaching out to more people and building relationships with them. And what we're doing here is we're building out a wider conversation with people so that when the time comes for them to be ready to buy from you, they are ready. They're already in the conversation. And that is the difference between sprinting and the marathon style running. Because if you sprint, you've got to do that whole process of engagement, of relationship building, of all those kind of things, all really, really quick. And while it is possible, it's actually very difficult. So that's what I wanted to show you today, this idea that marketing is a marathon. It's something that you need to do consistently on a regular basis. It's not something that you do 2 weeks before a promotion. Yeah, okay, you can, and there are ways and techniques of doing that. But it's not as effective as this slow burn, metronome thing, regular training. That's what I'm getting to, really. So if you have a project and you are looking to build a long-term future with it, get in touch, because there are so many opportunities that we could explore that would get you there. But it does take slow, consistent, steady action. Anyway, this is my final time I get to play with this medal and this shirt in this context, and I thought I'd do it today. So have a great Monday or a great week, and bear in mind, this is October the 1st, so Christmas is coming. We'll talk soon, I'm sure. All the best.